Hello students, welcome to the Ekam Shiksha. I am chemistry tutor. Today I am here going to teach a very important and special topic, which is organic chemistry. Organic chemistry is a topic which is really very interesting and important as well. Students feel little bit difficulty to solve the questions based upon the organic chemistry. Since from this video I am going to start the organic chemistry from the basics level of 11th grade. So my dear students, if you have 10th grade passed out, then you can also watch this video, because in this video everything regarding the organic chemistry will be covered in a systematic way from here onward. Okay, so let's start the organic chemistry. Whenever we talk about the organic chemistry, what is the first thing that comes in our mind? Obviously it is carbon. Yeah, it is carbon and hydrogen. Have you ever seen that why carbon makes so many organic compounds, millions of compounds, billions of compounds? Why only the carbon has the ability to form so many compounds? This is not a difficult question. In 10th grade you also study about this region. I'll give you a little bit brief idea about this region, why carbon form so many millions of trillions of compounds. You will find that there are so many method of preparation of organic compounds. In the whole organic chemistry, we divide the organic chemistry, 90% of the portion is based upon conceptual topic. In this chapter, dear students, we will discuss these five topics. Introduction of part of the organic chemistry, IUPAC nomenclature, GOC1, GOC2 and isomerism. Okay, let's start the first topic, that is introduction part of the organic chemistry. Okay. Introduction part of the organic chemistry include what? Basically, introduction. In introduction, we will just discuss about some basic points like history of the organic chemistry. If we talk about the history of organic chemistry, as I already hinted that Berzelius, he gave a very important theory, that is vital force theory. Vital force theory. What this vital force theory means? It means that there is a driving force present in living organism and their waste, and to prepare the organic compound it is must to prepare it from vital force theory concept. That is, a driving force is found in living organism and their waste. So organic compounds can only be prepared from living organism. So this was called the vital force theory, but later on this theory was proved completely wrong. Okay, why this theory was proved wrong? Because there were two scientists. This theory was proved wrong by Höhler and Kolbe. These two prepared a organic compound from laboratory method. So what was that compound? Ammonium cyanate, NH4CnO. This is called ammonium cyanate. Okay, this ammonium cyanate was heated, then this compound was formed. This is an organic compound and the common name of this compound is urea. So this urea was formed by Höhler and Kolbe from laboratory method, so it led to inspire other scientists that we can prepare other organic compounds by this method. That means this theory was completely proved wrong. Okay, so this was a little bit about the history of organic chemistry. Now we will try to understand the various portion of this introduction part of the organic chemistry. Okay students, so now we will discuss about the other important part of the organic chemistry introduction. Okay, so what is organic chemistry? Let's talk about the definition of organic chemistry. It is the branch of chemistry. It is the branch of chemistry in which we study about the chemical, physical and preparation methods of organic compounds, or we can say of hydrocarbon and their derivative Okay, so this is the definition. Organic chemistry, the branch of chemistry in which we study about the chemical, physical and preparation method of various hydrocarbons and their derivative. Here I am using one single term, that is hydrocarbon. What is hydrocarbon and what are their derivatives? Let's talk about this hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbon are the compounds, or we can say the organic compounds which contain only carbon and hydrogen. Okay, and the compounds which are derived from hydrocarbon are called their derivative. एग्जाम्पल ले लेते हैं थोड़ा सा, तब समझ में अच्छे से आ जाएगा। जैसे कि मैंने हाइड्रोकार्बन की बात करी तो CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3, ये मेरे पास क्या हो गया, एन ब्यूटेन हो गया। तो इसका नाम जो एन ब्यूटेन है कैसे पढ़ा हम सीखेंगे आगे। ये हमारा क्या है, एक हाइड्रोकार्बन है। अगर मान लो मैंने क्या कर दिया, इस कार्बन का एक हाइड्रोजन रिप्लेस कर दिया OH से, ठीक है ना। तो जब मैं इसको रिप्लेस कर दूंगा तो मेरे पास क्या बन जाएगा, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2OH। अब ये जो कंपाउंड बना है ये कहलाता है अल्कोहल, ठीक है। आगे इसके बारे में पढ़ेंगे। और इसको हम बोल देते हैं डेरिवेटिव ऑफ हाइड्रोकार्बन। ओके बच्चों, तो इसमें आप आसानी से देख सकते हैं कि हाइड्रोजन रिप्लेस हो रहा है OH ग्रुप से। तो जब भी एक कार्बन और हाइड्रोजन के अलावा एक और अलग से एटम इंक्लूड हो जाता है किसी भी ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड में, तो मेरा हाइड्रोकार्बन डेरिवेटिव बन जाता है, ऐसे समझ सकते हैं। और जो कार्बन और हाइड्रोजन के अलावा जो तीसरा एटम आता है उसे मैं कह देता हूँ हीटेरो एटम, दैट इज कॉल्ड हीटेरो एटम। ओके, सो हियर हीटेरो एटम इज ऑक्सीजन। Okay student, so this is all about the basic history of the organic compounds, definition and hydrocarbon and their derivative. Let's talk about few more interesting topics of this introduction part. Okay, next portion is basically reason behind so many organic compounds existence. Let's try to find out the reason why so many organic compounds are found in the nature. unlike other compound. Okay, so there are different kinds of region. You might know about this. Number one region is tetravalency. Tetravalency. What is tetravalency? Tetra means 4 and valency means the capacity of any atom to form the bond or the number of valence electron present. So here you can see that carbon can show 4 valency. What is the meaning of this one? We can understand. If we see carbon, its Z is 6, atomic number is 6. Now what we will do, we will write the electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. If we will form the orbital diagram, then orbital diagram you can form like this. Okay, so here suppose this is 2s, this is 2px, this is 2py and this is 2pz. Okay bachcho, so here 2 electrons are there, here 1 electron is there, like this. Since if you notice right now valency, or we can say the covalency is here 2. Why? Because covalency is nothing but equals to number of unpaired electron. So how many unpaired electron are present right now? 2. But carbon can show 4 valency. How it is possible? We can see that this is in ground state. So by somehow if we try to unpair this electron and excite this from 2s to 2pz, then we can get 4 unpaired electron and hence 4 covalency. How? Let's see. If we try to draw this orbital diagram in excited state, here if you notice this electron is jumping from 2s to 2pz. Okay, so this is showing 4 covalency and this is called excited state. Okay, so from here to here what is happening? 1 electron is jumping from 2s orbital to 2pz orbital. Here it can be 2px, 2py, it depends upon which orbital is vacant for electron. But it need energy. If you will not provide energy to this electron, it will not jump from 2s to 2pz. So it should be energetically unfavorable. Is it so? Let's try to understand this. Here if you notice, carbon is able to form 4 covalent bond now. 4 covalent bond, right? With every formation of covalent bond, remember always student that a certain amount of energy released, and more the amount of energy released, more will be stability of the molecule. This is the point we have discussed in the chemical bonding chapter. So here carbon is able to form 4 covalent bond, hence a very good amount of energy will release. Very good amount of energy will release, which compensate the amount of energy required to jumping down the electron from 2s to 2pz orbital. That's why this process is feasible from the point of view of energy. Okay, which compensate the energy needed to excite electron from 2s to 2pz orbital. Okay, so this is the topic, which is tetravalency. Carbon can show 4 covalency, and hence we can say that it has a greater ability to form 4 maximum bond. Now let's talk about the second region of behind formation of so many organic compounds. What is the second region, students? Let's try to understand. So second region here is basically catenation. What is catenation basically? Carbon has a very special ability to form number of covalent bonds with itself in such a way the structure formed now is a very giant covalent network form. So this giant covalent network form structure is called the product of catenation. Okay, so the property of carbon to form covalent bond with itself, covalent bond with itself in a giant covalent network form is called catenation. For example, if you see the structure of carbon electrode, that is diamond, and the structure of graphite, we can say example graphite, diamond, etc. Okay, so this property is found in the carbon, which is responsible behind formation of so many organic compounds. Okay, and why carbon can form? One simple reason we will say, that is due to small size and high electronegativity. With a small size and high electronegativity, carbon can accommodate so many other carbon atoms around itself, and hence it can show the catenation property. The next region, this is second one, okay, and third one is multiple bond formation. Multiple bond formation. Carbon has a very good ability to form multiple bond with itself and with its similar types of element. Carbon can form multiple bond. Multiple bond means what? Double bond or triple bond with itself and similar kind of elements or similar kinds of atoms. We can also write like this. For example, you can write example here: carbon double bond, carbon can form, carbon triple bond, carbon can form, carbon double bond oxygen, carbon triple bond nitrogen. So these all are the possibility of carbon to form double bond and triple bond. Okay, so now the fourth region we will study, we will not study, I will just tell you, isomerism. Isomerism is a phenomena by which one molecule can exist more than one type of molecule by changing its structure or other things. This phenomena is called the isomerism, and molecules or compounds are called the isomers. So this is also one of the reason behind existence of so many millions or trillions of compounds of carbon. Okay student, so this is the region, this is the one of the important part of the introduction topic. Let's discuss the next topic of introduction part. Next important part is basically representation of organic compound. Representation of organic compounds. This is a very important topic. Representation of organic compound. See, there are various ways to represent an organic compound. Okay, I'll discuss all these ways one by one. Number one is basically expanded structure, expanded structural formula of organic compounds. Expanded structure formula. अगर मेरे पास एक कंपाउंड दिया गया है, सपोज लाइक दिस, कार्बन 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 कार्बन, सपोज इट इज लाइक दिस. Okay, carbon can form maximum of 4 bonds. Already we have seen. So this is a structure in which you have to show every kinds of bond, every kinds of bond. Okay, here you can see every carbon hydrogen and carbon carbon bond I have just shown in the structure. Okay, so second is condense structure formula, CSF. Okay, so here what we do, we try to diminish all the carbon carbon bond and carbon hydrogen bond. We don't show any kinds of bond. So if we start from this carbon, let's number this carbon 3 4 5. By numbering, it's very easy to write the number of hydrogen in front of the particular carbon. Okay, so here carbon is there, so here this carbon is combined with 3 hydrogen. I will write like this, CH3. Another carbon in there, I will write like this, CH2. Another carbon in there, I will write like this. Another carbon like this, another carbon like this. So 1 2 3 4 and 5, right? So here I have made the structure in such a way I am not showing any kind of carbon carbon or carbon hydrogen bond. Okay, let's try to diminish this particular structure. Third one, suppose molecular structure or molecular formula. Molecular formula. In molecular formula, what we do, we try to count all total number of atom present in the structure. We don't make any bond, we don't draw the structure like this, just count the number of carbon in the whole compound. How many carbon are there? 4 carbon, sorry 5 carbon. How many hydrogen? 3 5 7 9 3 12. Okay, so C5H12. This is molecular formula of the compounds. You will not be able to get the idea how bonds are arranged with this particular molecular formula. Also, next one is bond line notation. Bond line notation, BLN. In BLN, what we do basically, the total number of carbon present are shown by the vertex, and these vertex you have to arrange in a zigzag manner, because from the spectroscopic method it has observed that all the atoms in this particular compound are arranged usually in a zigzag form. That's why we try to draw the vertex in the zigzag form. We can draw the vertex in different form now, but we are trying to draw the vertex in the zigzag form. How? 5 vertex we will form in the zigzag form. Here how many vertex? 1 2 3 4 5. So we will not show carbon and hydrogen. We will not show carbon and hydrogen. Okay, it is self understood that on this one carbon, how many hydrogen are there? Obviously 3 hydrogen will be there. On this second carbon, how many hydrogen? 2 hydrogen will be there. It is self understood. We will not draw carbon and hydrogen. Likewise here on this is what? third carbon, here also 2 hydrogen will be there, because this carbon has already formed 1 and 2 bonds. Likewise, this will form 2 hydrogen only, and this will have only 3 hydrogen, because it can form 4 bond. So 1 bond is there already, so hence we can draw the BLN. Okay, it's very important to understand the BLN, conversion of BLN to CSF and CSF to BLN. Okay, let's take a few important questions. This representation of organic compound include main 4 representation, except this. Further on the later topic, I will tell you different kinds of representation, Schwarz representation, Newman projection, okay, 3D formula and other thing. Okay, let's try to solve few important questions on this topic. Okay students, so here I wrote few important questions. In this question, what you need to do, you need to convert following CSF structure to BLN. These all are condensed structure formula, and you need to convert the condensed structure formula into the bond line notation. How to do? Let's try to understand with me. See, if you see this particular compound, in this compound you will observe one thing, that how many carbons are there? Total 4 carbons are there? No, 5 carbons are there. So first task is to draw the 5 vertex in the zigzag manner. The way I am telling you, to try to solve that if you are a learner. Okay, if you know already, you can do as your own wish, whatever you know. Okay, so 5 vertex I will draw. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. I will do the numbering here. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. If you notice here, if I am doing numbering like this, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. On first carbon, how many hydrogens are there? 3 hydrogens are there. So 3 hydrogen will be obviously there. But on second carbon, if you see, how many hydrogen are there? Only 1. If 1 hydrogen is there, and if we are considering that it is forming single bond, okay, then carbon-carbon bond will be there, 1 carbon-carbon bond will be there, and 1 carbon-hydrogen bond will be there. So total how many bond it is forming? Second carbon is forming how many bond right now? 3 covalent bond. But carbon should form how many bond? 4. So that means there must be 1 double bond presence. It can be triple bond also, but it will not be single bond. It depends upon the number of hydrogen deficiency. Okay, so here 1 hydrogen is deficient. On this third carbon also same situation you will find. 1 hydrogen is there, so obviously between second and third carbon 1 double bond must be there. So this is the way how to form the double bond. Okay, now if you see on 4th carbon, 5th carbon, all the 4 valency of carbon have been satisfied, right? Likewise in the second one, how many carbon are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Let's draw this structure. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, on first carbon hydrogen you will not show, but OH is something different group. This is a derivative that you are observing here. Okay, so this OH you have to show. On which carbon OH is present? On first carbon. So you will draw another line like this, OH, in this way. Okay, so this is the way how to form the OH. You will not consider this as a carbon. This carbon is connected to OH. Okay, likewise on second carbon hydrogen only, so we will leave this. On third carbon 1 chlorine group is there, so I will show chlorine here, right? On fourth carbon hydrogen only, let's leave this also. On fifth carbon OH is there. That means if you see, oxygen can form 2 bond maximum. Carbon can form 4 bond usually, so oxygen can form maximum of 2 bond. This is the concept we should know. Now if you notice one point, this oxygen is there and this oxygen there. Since this oxygen is forming 1 bond with hydrogen, that means this oxygen must be attached with this carbon with single bond to fulfill its valency of 2. I am talking about this oxygen. And this oxygen is not forming any bond. with any atom except carbon. So obviously on this particular fifth carbon you have to draw like this, and this carbon is forming OH bond with this one. Okay, actually these two are not two carbon. This is the way to just fascinate this structure. Okay, so here one carbon there, on this carbon OH group is present, and on this carbon O group is also present. Now you can count how many bond it is forming right now. 1 2 3 4. So total 4 bond it is forming. Likewise, if you see here, how many carbons are there? 1 2 3 4. So 4 carbon you will draw like this, 1 2 3 4. On first carbon 3 hydrogen, it is satisfied. On second carbon, suppose this is first, second, 3 and 4. 1 2 3 and 4. If you see on fourth carbon, only one hydrogen are there. Okay, and there is no other atom on this carbon. One bond is there with carbon carbon, third and fourth, and one bond of carbon is between carbon and hydrogen. So obviously 2 bonds are missing. That means we have to draw 2 more bonds. That means triple bond is present. Okay, likewise if you see this compound, 1 2 3 4 and 5 carbon, 1 2 3 4 5 carbon. Numbering I have done 1 2 3 4 5. If you notice here that first carbon need 4 valency, 1 valency with carbon, 3 valency with hydrogen, it is okay. Second carbon is forming one bond with this one, and this carbon must form one bond with oxygen. Okay, one bond with oxygen, and oxygen, this oxygen must form one bond with this carbon, because oxygen can form 2 bond maximum, just like this case, right? So here this oxygen must form bond with this carbon, and this oxygen must form bond with this carbon. That means this oxygen is coming between second and third carbon, and this oxygen will form 2 bond with this second carbon. That means you have to include the oxygen here. Except carbon and hydrogen, you have to show other any heteroatom in the bond line structure. Okay, so here this is second carbon, after that oxygen, then third carbon will be here, then on third carbon OH is present, so I will write here OH. Okay, after that how many carbon are there? 4 and 5. So suppose this is 1 2 3 and 4, and this will be 5. On 4 and 5 2 hydrogen and 3 hydrogens are there, so you can easily tell me that there will be no other kind of bond. So this is the way to draw the structure from CSF to BLN. That means what you need to do, you just need to look at the molecules. Rule is simple: carbon can form maximum of 4 bonds. Okay, more than this carbon cannot form, and less than that it cannot form in a stable form. So all these were the example to convert from CSF to BLN. Okay, if you have any doubt in this CSF and BLN conversion, you can comment me. You can join the Telegram channel also. There I am taking the doubts of students personally. Okay, and you can post any question on this or any confusion regarding this. You can tell me. I will just take your query in that Telegram channel also. The link is given in the channel. You can look at the link and you can join the channel. Okay, except this topic you can also ask any doubt. Okay, so this is the conversion of CSF to BLN. Right, now what we will do, we will do BLN to CSF now. Let's try to do that. Okay, okay students, so now we will discuss about how to convert the BLN notation into the expanded form. Okay, so first example is here given to you. So how many carbon you are observing here? Numbering we will do like this: 3 4. Suppose this is 5th carbon. Okay, so first of all you have to draw carbon number, 4 carbons, and on the 3rd carbon another carbon is there. Since it is asking the expanded structure, that means you have to show every carbon and carbon, hydrogen and other bonds present in the BLN, right? So on this carbon there is no other heteroatom, so it is self understood that there will be 3 hydrogen. There will be 3 hydrogen. Likewise, on the second carbon, it need 2 hydrogen. On the third carbon, 1 hydrogen will be there only. On the fourth carbon, there will be 3 hydrogen. And on the fifth carbon, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and this is 5th. So on fifth carbon, there will be 3 hydrogen. Right? So this is called the expanded structure of this BLN. Likewise, if you see this compound, then how many carbon? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, let's write the 5 carbon. Okay, on this first carbon there is no other heteroatom, so we will draw 3 hydrogen to fulfill its maximum 4 valency. Likewise, on the second carbon there is a presence of oxygen. Now if you count the valence of carbon which have been complete, that is 4. Okay, so this is a first carbon, this is second, and third carbon you will not find anything, so 2 hydrogen you need to put. On fourth carbon, if you see, there is no other heteroatom, so 2 hydrogen you have to give. On the fifth carbon, if you notice, 1 NH2 is present and 1 oxygen is present. So this carbon have fulfilled its maximum of 4 valency. Okay, and this functional group is called amide. Later I will tell you, and this is called ketone. Right? Likewise, in the third one, if you see third one, then how many carbon? If you see here, different kinds of carbon are there on different carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, here 6, 7, 8. So total 8 carbon you have to draw. 5 carbon in straight chain and 3 carbon on third carbon. 6, 7, 8, like this. Carbon, 5 carbon in straight, 3 carbon on third carbon. Suppose this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. On third, how many carbon? 1, 2, 3. Right? Now we can give the required valency. Hydrogen, 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 hydrogen. Right? Hydrogen here. Like by here, hydrogen, hydrogen. Okay, on fifth carbon you will find 1 chlorine and 1 double bond. On this carbon also 2 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, and 3 hydrogen are there. Okay, this is complete expanded structure of the third question. And about the fourth question, I will draw this fourth question here for you. Fourth question is giving you like this. Okay, so how many carbon are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 6 carbon chain I will draw by keeping in mind 3, 4, 5, and 6. By keeping in mind that between second and third carbon one oxygen is there, heteroatom, and between fourth and fifth there is another heteroatom group, that is NH. So let me draw that. Number 1 carbon, number 2 carbon, now oxygen, third carbon, fourth carbon, NH, carbon number 6, carbon number 7. Sorry, carbon number 5, carbon number 6. Okay, now let's try to fulfill its valency. Right? On this carbon, here 2 hydrogen, here 2 hydrogen, right? And here 2 hydrogen will be there, and here 3 hydrogen will be there. 1 hydrogen will be there. You can draw that also like this. Okay, it's not, space is not there. You can understand this is self understood. So this is the way how to convert the BLN into the expanded form. Okay, my dear students, in this topic today lecture we covered different kinds of introduction part, like what is vital force theory, what are hydrocarbon, what are hydrocarbon derivative, and what are the different kinds of representation of organic compounds and their interconversion. Okay, few other introduction part are left, that is hybridization in organic compound, total number of sigma and pi bonds. These are the topics on which question usually ask, right? Then degree of unsaturation, other degree of organic compounds, and classification of organic compounds. Okay, after that only we will start the IUPAC nomenclature. Okay students, so this is the topic that we will discuss in the next lecture. Okay, I hope you understand all the basic concept that I taught you in this video. Okay, if you like this video, if you understand the content, then please like this video, share to your friends, and subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get the more recent update. Okay, till then I hope your home study is going very well. Okay, and I hope that you will be safe with your family and you are spreading the awareness regarding this pandemic rather than the fear. I will see you in the next video. Till then, thank you. Bye bye.